Both Grayscale and Canary Capital are giving us new information about products that are linked to XRP Spot. Without further ado, let us talk about what this means for our XRP shares. We need to talk about what this news means. This is Crypto Sensei. Let's start right away. So when Trump and his team took office, one of their plans was to make a US crypto strategic reserve that would back US infrastructure. You may be thinking of Sensei Ethereum, which is based in Switzerland. I get it. On top of that, they brought up XRP, Solana, Cardano, and a few other assets. What did you do since then? Let me give you some news before we talk about what Grayscale is doing with those properties. The idea of a US crypto strategic reserve has come a long way under the current government. In 2025, big steps were taken to support American digital assets. In his speech, President Trump announced and officially set up a strategic Bitcoin reserve and a digital asset stockpile. He named Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, XRP, Solana, and Cardano as part of the reserve portfolio, which is similar to the selection of tokens by major players like Grayscale's multi-asset crypto ETP. What are the latest news and developments? Since Trump signed the order in March 2025 that set up the strategic Bitcoin reserve and the US digital asset hoard, we haven't had too much. The government said the assets would not be sold, but would instead be kept as strategic stocks to help keep the American economy stable. This is still a bit of a hazy area in terms of how it will grow. And there's really only one way for US stocks to grow. We have to arrest more people who are using cryptocurrency for bad things. Right now, the US can only add more crypto because they are taking it away from people who want to carry out crimes. Which means you're getting really scared now, right? Like, what if you had a lot of cryptocurrency and one day it was worth a lot of money? What if the government started breaking down your door to take your cryptocurrency? Though I believe more and more people are beginning to talk about that. Now that you know how to protect your crypto, these bad things should not happen again. But I wanted to let you know where the digital asset store was now. Now let's talk about the news about the XRP Spot ETF. Because Grayscale had something important to say here. There is a symbol for Grayscale, CoinDesk, Crypto, 5 ETF, XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and ADA. It's called GDLC, and it's the first multi-asset crypto ETP traded in the US. As you can see, 74% of it will be Bitcoin, 16% will be Ethereum, 5% will be XRP, and 3.5% will be Solana. XRP is actually being bought more here than Solana, which I really like seeing. When you talk about institutional desire for crypto, I do think that Solana and XRP will do the best over the next 6 to 12 months. Take notes. When Grayscale updates its SON filing with SEC, it proposes a listing under the XRP and the New York Stock Exchange and ACRA. This moves the XRPF proposal forward. The filing shows that institutional demand is growing faster and the crypto asset market is becoming more mature. In this case, the decision is expected on October 18th. Are we going to get? In the United States, the government could still be shut down because of this choice. Paul Barron told me that he thought work was being done here through his connections, and he hoped that we could get these things cleared. Could you picture putting this off for more weeks or months, even if the government wasn't shut down? It seems like the market is on edge right now. Getting some of these decisions could really push the market back where we need it to go. Instead of right now, no one knows if we're going up or down. This 1980s dance is a bit strange and it doesn't feel good. Canary Funds XRP TF. I'll play this new clip now. I saw it today and wanted to share it with you. What do you think about XRP TF and the price of XRP in general? I can't say anything directly about any XRPEF, but I can say that any altcoin that can get flows through public markets should and maybe could. You can see that flow in Q4, right? Or so if it has never had that. I would warn people who are expecting flows to happen quickly. When you think about ETH, it hasn't had any movement in months, right? Finally, let's go back to this. I'll just scroll through it this time. Ethereum isn't XRP though. The people who support XRP seem to show up every day, in my opinion. XRP is the cryptocurrency that people talk about the most. I like to pay close attention to what all kinds of people are saying on X and other sites. Maybe that's because I hang out with people who use XRP. A lot of people are excited about XRP, but not as many people were excited when Ethereum's FTF came out. Boo. So I believe things could go in a different direction. Write what you think below. Let's go back to this slide. The ETF were released. I hate to compare the two, but I didn't see any movement until the end of the year. After that, they finally saw movement in 2025. This means that ETF are not a use case or a digital asset. But if people want to share an idea, they could use ETF to do so if they wanted to get access to any coin. That is, if you have the flows along with even range, for example with XRP, SRP, has been going on for months and months and months, almost a whole year. If a good base can be built and flows start to come in, I think there will be a good move higher in Q4 and maybe even into 2026. See, sure, why would you? Sba, it's great that you brought up Ethereum because we didn't see much demand for that spot product in the beginning, but you did see a lot of demand for the Ethereum-related product. Like I said before, I think the community for XRP is bigger than the community for Ethereum. If anything, I think it'll do about the same as Bitcoin or slightly better than Ethereum. I think there will be a need for it. How much? Something like, is it going to be $5 billion or $10 billion? That is going to be up to the group, but I still think it will do better than Ethereum and become the second best spot product of all time after Bitcoin. Bitcoin is too strong for you to beat. You just saw way too much money go into it. I wish I were wrong. It would be great if I could say those things, but that's just how I feel. Also, I'm not going to lie or insult you. I am going to be honest with you about how I feel. I'll tell you if it's good or bad. DC FinTech Week starts on October 14 and ends on October 17. A lot of great clips are going to be shown. It's going to be a long one, so make sure you follow me and subscribe because I'm going to give it to you hot. Brad Garlinghouse, the of Ripple, will be on stage with governors of the Federal Reserve, commissioners of the EU, and other great guests. Does anyone else see Brad Garlinghouse surrounded by inspectors from around the world? Brad is in the same room, on the same stage, talking with the people who run the financial markets. You can't say that's not important, can you? You can be thought about, but being thought about and in the room is a whole different thing. Okay, hot. What's going on in the UK? Let's hear from Gemini in less than 60 seconds. This is crazy what's going on in the UK right now. Now, a whole new group is getting involved with digital money. The digital money. State of Crypto UK says that almost 1 in 4 people in the UK now have crypto. And new research shows that almost half of people plan to add digital assets to their wealth. Gemini's State of Crypto UK edition also says that 51% of people in the UK know about crypto ETF.
Wow. Bro.
Crypto ETF, which is the biggest percentage of any European country. These results show that people in the UK want this kind of thing a lot. This means that if the government can make these available in a way that works well and saves money, the UK could become a star in this field. But in the UK, regulation is the only way to go. 39% of people there say that full government regulation would be good for the business.